osteoporosis is a word that is feared. What did you experience?
I had shooting pains. I'm trying to cope up with the things.
So you feel good now?
I feel very confident. I think there's a long way to go.
Any message that you'd share with them?
Face it and fight it out if you can.
Don't run too scared, so there's no reason to really panic. They say that men and women are not created equal. Only physically, I mean, in no other sense. Well, one area where it's really true is the bones. Women are so much more prone to bone illnesses. In fact, you'll find the incidence of bone illnesses in women 4 times higher than it is in men. So what age should you get worried? What can you do to nurture your bones? We're going to talk about all of that on Women on Top today. And joining me is Dr. Yash Gulati, Senior Consultant Orthopedics at Apollo Hospitals. I want to dive into this straight off. Let's understand the basics on bone loss. You know, seems like a difficult thing to measure. So how do we realize, how do we know when we should start worrying about it?
Well, first of all, we must understand what bone is made of. Bone is like a matrix, you know, like this net you put in front of a window, it's like that. And the paint on that net is like the calcium that's deposited on the bone. So when the number of wires in that decrease, that condition is called osteopenia or osteoporosis. And if that paint decreases, that is the calcium deposit decreases, it's osteomalacia. Now why it decreases? Number one, the most important cause of decrease in bone density or bone mass is as we grow older it decreases. People who are on steroids also lose bone. Women in perimenopausal time also tend to lose more bone.
So we'll try and understand more about bone illnesses through the story of Daljit Khurana. She is a mother and a homemaker, and she's had to deal with osteomalacia.
When I came to know that I had osteomalacia, actually I was shocked. At that point of time, I felt as if my life has completely finished. But then slowly and steadily I recovered. I think one must have self-belief and positive thinking. I think if one has these attributes in life, one can achieve anything.
Daljit, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. When you realized you had osteomalacia, how did you cope? What did you do, and what did you experience?
See, it started insidiously through aches and pains in my lumbar region, thighs. Sometimes the pain used to penetrate through the complete body. I had shooting pains in my back. I had difficulty in climbing stairs, to getting up from a squatting position, and once I was even bedridden. I could not even move from the bed. I was hospitalized.
So you could feel that, you know, your body was not able to support you in that sense.
Yeah.
So did you go for medical help, medical advice at that stage?
Yeah, I was hospitalized. I went to certain physiotherapies also, which healed me, and then now I'm here. And now I'm trying to cope up with the things.
Dr. Gulati, are there any special symptoms so that you know that this is osteomalacia or something more severe?
Well, as she very rightly described, her symptoms were quite typical of osteomalacia, but unfortunately they are not picked up that quickly, because you don't expect a young, healthy looking girl to be suffering from osteomalacia. But that one has to be careful about, that anybody can suffer from that, although it is uncommon in India, because as you know, this problem is due to deficiency of vitamin D.